Right, I'm going to record this one now because I've just watched one where somebody's just blown some bloody person tried to set light to a Muslim's home. Now there's been there's been a double stabbing. How much more? What else is there? What else is going to happen before governments decide? Fucking Charles decides to do something as well.
Hello and welcome to True Brit Media. We have some breaking news coming out of Birmingham City Centre.
It might need to come from somebody a bit more than the government.
In a double stabbing in a horrific
no one's
event.
listening to Keir
We've seen
Starmer
knife crime at its peak. We've seen the death of Henry Novak. We've seen a massive attack in Belfast from the illegal migrants. And now we have this. Birmingham City Centre. But as always, the mainstream media will not be covering this. You won't find this story anywhere, and I'm sure this is the first place you have seen it. We are True Brit Media. We're here to speak, expose, and live the truth, and the truth must be heard. And as usual, who is the suspect? Who is the man carrying his knife? Is it what you think it is? All will be revealed in this video. If you haven't already, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe, and get in the comment section with your thoughts and everything that's going on in the world and this story today. Let's get straight into it then. And one of many rare sources that report this is always the Mirror. The Mirror always come with this breaking news, and they come a bit thick and fast. So let's go straight to what they've reported with a good timeline of events, as well as Birmingham Live and Mail doing it. But this is what they said. Police have sealed off a large area outside Birmingham's main library in the city centre after 2 people were stabbed. Those of you who are from and around Birmingham or may not know the area itself, this library is a hub of infestation. It is the hub of where you see feral people. Ironically, a library is there to enrich the world and educate the world and make a happy, calm place. But libraries now tend to be a meeting place, a gathering, a congregation of those we do not want in and around our communities. A West Midlands police spokesperson said, "We're currently at the scene of a stabbing in Cemetery Square, Birmingham. A man in his 20s has been taken to hospital with potentially life-threatening stab wounds. A second man has sustained wounds to his hand. A cordon is in place while we carry out inquiries." Now, clearly here, the man, what we are gathering with the sustained wound to his hand, potentially has been someone who stepped in and tried to help the said person in his 20s who's currently with life-threatening stab wounds. But nevertheless, once again, the picture in our cities is this: knife crime at its highest, at its peak. Yet you have people like Sadiq Khan and Keir Starmer who continue to tell you that there is no issue. They continue to tell you that they will turn a blind eye to it. But we want to know, is it the usual suspects? We'll have a look at this with further information to really gather momentum of what has gone on this. So, first and foremost, if we go straight to the bottom of everything that's happened today, it says here, which we just read. Now, this is the area, and I don't know how well you can see this area zooming out, but this is the library. It's a very open place, and this is where people have, as I said, been gathering and where the incident took place. You may have not seen this landmark at all. And actually, do you know what? My family and I, we've actually sat on those steps there when we went to Birmingham. You know, families gather around here. This is not a quiet place at all. So to see that is truly a spine-tingling feeling to know that a double stabbing happened there.
I'm gonna say I don't want to go out there to fucking find out.
We know you can rush to police.
That's not clever.
This is the cordoned off area that you can see here on our pictures. And as always,
but
the man who has not
committed
the crime is still not in handcuffs. So it says multiple emergency service vehicles can be seen parked beside the cordon in Birmingham City Centre this evening. Police are continuing to work at the scene. A police investigation is ongoing.
Wow.
What I always find, and where I've done these stories in the past, is that the person who's done it, why are they never arrested? Why is it so easy for them to flee the scene? Why are they not apprehended so quickly? Yet the irony of this country is that you can make a social media post, or you can throw a stone at a police officer and they'll find you within hours.
Oh, really, man?
It's
I've
scary.
never gone to jail for 2
However,
years.
let's continue
But
as more
them in Manchester Airport, I'm not in jail.
accounts come. Stabbing in the centre of town is really worrying, says a Birmingham uni student.
And I mean,
he said really well, I looked at the library, I didn't know anything of what was happening. All of a sudden, someone came over and I'm like, oh my god, have you seen outside? And the centre of town is really worrying. And to turn to those, actually, as he said, this is clearly a student who's using the library for the correct reasons. Study,
so it's just a poor innocent person now. This is what I mean.
But let's go to, again, people are probably going, well, who is it? What is it? What is the man going to survive? Well, this is what a trauma doctor and specialist paramedics dispatched to the scene. A paramedic officer, a merit trauma doctor and a critical care paramedic was dispatched to the scene this afternoon. They were called at 2:25 to report of stabbing and break Charles Street, Kingsway. One ambulance, a paramedic officer and a merit trauma doctor and critical care paramedic attended the scene. Upon arrival, we found a man who was assessed and had sustained injuries not believed to be life-threatening. He received advanced trauma care at the scene before being conveyed to hospital for further assessment. That obviously is our man who's been stabbed in the wing. But look, this is always where I know it's one of the usual suspects. This is where I know that the police are going to take their time on this. Because when you see this, witnesses are asked to come forward. West Midlands Police have asked witnesses of anyone with information on the incident to contact them. When you think about a library, you think about the city and you think about the town. You think about the surveillance that's available. You think about the cameras, the people around there. You're telling me that they've not been able to apprehend or find the person who did it.
But it's probably not English.
They need more witnesses. In today's society, you're asking for more witnesses to come forward.
Cameras.
And it just worries me continuously when we have these knife crimes and the velocity of them. But also, right, not just that, but again, if this is what we believe to be an illegal migrant,
we'll go and blaming the police, we'll blame the kids.
Once again, we have another horrific situation on our hands.
Most of it is the police and the government.
Police are, as I said, begging for a statement, begging for some answers.
What is that?
And when you go onto social media, these things, and you think, okay, surely there's something. I'm just going to show you how quiet social media is on this, because usually that is your first place to go with such information. If you actually type in
that means
Birmingham stabbing into X, I'm going to show you the only articles you've got. Birmingham Live 2 minutes here. You've got the Mirror breaking news one.
Coming out and speaking.
Solihull updates. And then someone who's called Deport the Filth. Where again we are, there's literally that's all you've got. 4 pieces of independent media trying to report it.
Even just in a different conversation
we have
about
absolutely
and that, they're not talking
nothing to show.
No.
And that surprises me. That surprises me when social media is quiet as well. So, wait for the suspect to be found.
Thank you.
Hey everyone and welcome. Well, we've all seen the body camera footage, haven't we? In the Henry Novak case. From one angle, obviously. Many more footage that hasn't been released. And they've had 6 months to figure out what is the least damaging to put out. And still, it was sickening. I'd like to know all of it. I'd like to see all of it. But there you go. Well, here is a prime example of what you shouldn't do. Especially when your whole community is under the spotlight because of one absolute animal. Have a listen to what this gentleman says.
I know, mate. This is why it's going on. See, this is about Henry Novak case now. This is what I mean. Like King Charles
hey,
come out and say
well, we've all seen the body camera footage, haven't we? In the Henry Novak case. From one angle, obviously. Many more footage that hasn't been released. And they've had 6 months to figure out what is the least damaging to put out.
This is what we should do.
And still, it was sickening. I'd like to know all of it. I'd like to see all of it. But there you go. Well, here is a prime example of what you shouldn't do. Especially when your whole community is under the spotlight because of one absolute animal. Have a listen to what this gentleman says.
In the first place, the devil out. poltergeist out.
That we have rotten rockets.
We did, and he's going to have to hope to God, pray to God that
He
I've got
says
God
he's
by
a
my
Sikh
side.
calling
I'm
up
not on
LBC,
one.
effectively
Please,
conflating
Grandad,
the anger
I'll-
at one murderer into anger at the entire faith, their entire community. And his initial reaction is threats of violence. Have a listen to this.
You know where I'm going now, don't you?
Go on.
I'm going to my local Gurdwara to make sure no one comes near that space, and I'm going to protect the perimeter. I'm a trained person, and if anyone brings any violence towards my house and my house of prayer, it's going to be extreme and utter violence.
Well, we've had... Bring it on, is all I can
There you
say.
go.
Bring it on. If you think you're that tough that you can go on a radio station and make threats of violence,
There you
bring
go,
it
my
on.
love, so you
You're not
can't
doing
tell
your
me I'm
community any
violent
favours
when
with
by
this sort of
saying I want
talk.
chopping
You know,
Charles's
how
head off
about
now,
you shut
can you?
up? Or even better,
Yeah.
come out in solidarity with
Well,
Novak's
let's get
family
chop
and with the
King
people
Charles's
that are
head
angry at the
off.
fact that someone's allowed to walk
Let's
around with a
swarm
gun and then
Buckingham
uses it
Palace.
to
I
murder
don't
someone.
care.
The Sikh.
That's going to be a lot
obviously,
better than
I need to
people
tell you
being
that,
hurt.
you know, it's obviously against the law, but we need
Yes, it
to.
is.
We need to.
Fuck the
Yes,
king.
it is.
No,
Yeah, that. He doesn't
by
mind breaking the
protecting
law.
King
Doesn't mind
Charles,
breaking the law
yeah.
at all.
In yourself, isn't?
They're all
Well, of
breaking
course,
it.
but
All of them.
I mean, let's hope that this doesn't spill out into
Well, it has.
people attacking Sikhs.
No,
Let's
it is.
hope it doesn't spill out to people like him threatening the locals. Maybe
And
that
attacking
should be the
people
start
like me.
of this, not attacking Sikhs. He's openly
No one's ever
hoping
attacked Sikhs.
that someone attacks so he can be extremely violent with them. How about no? This isn't going to help the cause of Sikhs, is it? This isn't going to help the cause at all. Because this is just going to make us want to get rid of them too. Isn't it? Isn't it?
No, I said
Absolute
they should
idiots.
go. I said they
Well,
should report them. They don't want to give up that
agree with
knife
you, but
before.
I'll say as a
That
British
knife
citizen,
should
If
be
you're
in a
threatening
religious
English
church
people, you're not a
only.
British citizen.
as
No,
an
it should be in the
ex-serviceman,
worship.
that is
Well, not church,
irrelevant.
obviously,
proud
not
to
what they.
serve my country.
Alright.
But
I'm
if
gonna say
anyone
about
gets
them
upset
too.
that one of us killed
I don't
one
know
of
if
yours,
anyone
then that's
must
a
know wherever
prime
their
example and a
worship place
good
should
enough
be.
reason for me to
That
be
thing
issuing
should,
threats of
if it's
violence
for
on the
religion,
radio.
it should be in
Absolutely
that religious
raging with what I'm
building.
seeing at the
And it
moment.
should not
We're
be coming
absolutely
out of
raging
there.
what we're seeing at the moment.
That
One
is
of
for the
you with
religious
a
building,
kirpan,
not for
a
carrying
knife
it.
that you're allowed to carry
Yeah,
for
a
some
knife.
unknown
Here we
reason,
are. You're
even
allowed
though
to carry
everybody
a
else
knife.
isn't. We can't even carry box covers, everyone. We can't even
I
carry
can't
box
carry
covers.
bloody-
Yet he's got an 8-inch
Well, the
blade
only
on
thing
him,
I'll have to
and this
hope to
guy
God is I
is
have got one
defending
panic alarm and
the
I've got steel toe
murderer
cap
by
boots.
saying, I will be violent
Thank
with
God for
anyone
me
that
steel toe
comes
cap
to
boots
my
and when I
place of
go up I
worship.
can hit.
How
Because as
stupid
soon
are
as
people
we
to be
kick them with a
listening
steel
to?
toe
And
cap
that's the
boot,
smears,
they
isn't
will
it? It's always
go
the
down.
same, isn't it? You
Well,
must be
it'll hurt a
stupid.
bit.
You must be stupid if you don't believe exactly like I believe. Sorry, mate, we don't believe exactly like you believe.
And that's why
We're
we kill our
outraged
dogs so our
that the
dogs
police
can't bark and protect
handcuffed
us.
a
Because
dying
even though
boy,
they might kill the
who's
dog,
only
the
18,
dog
a
will
boy
fight.
that just
Even
been
if it's a little
stabbed
dog, it
with
will
one of
still
your
bark and then
ceremonial
you can know
knives.
somebody's
And
there.
you're more worried about defending yourself
Self.
than you are about standing up in solidarity and saying, this isn't representative of the Sikhs, everyone. This one nut job is not representative of the Sikhs. We stand with you. Oh, no, 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 no. He's going to defend his entire community against ours, even though we're the victims. And he and his faith,
Is
and I
not.
will say faith, because the knife is part of that faith, that are murdering. Sorry, not interested.
People like this that
He's
just
not.
want the destruction of this country.
Yeah, you do.
Killing
You do
people
seem
is
to want the
not part of
destruction of
faith.
the country. You're standing up and defending a man that murdered a child on the street, and the police that also murdered a child on the street, in my opinion.
And whilst Nigel Farage sits back with a, I don't know, a glass of red wine,
You
He has
heard
a
him
right
and
to be
then now the
angry. He has a
police
right to be
are
angry, doesn't he?
not over the father of
And now
Mark
this is what's
Novak,
happening.
the actual father of
Somebody
And
else has
here
been
we
stabbed,
go,
somebody
here's
else
the
has been blown
old
up, somebody
line,
else has
isn't
been
it? The
stabbed.
father said that he doesn't want anger.
The whole
Bullshit.
God.
The father said he wanted this bullshit. If you don't listen to what he said none of the things that they're trying to say. This is just them using the family, as I've said previously, as a shield from criticism
The council got somebody in my kitchen, I don't think
and
they are.
righteous anger.
I'll have to make my own
that
bunker.
please do not make this
It's
about
not safe
sex.
enough because
Do
it
not
I
make
could
this
just get buried
about
under
Picket Farm.
ourselves.
Do
Not
not
good.
make this
He never said any of this, by the way.
violence, and I don't want my son's murder
Oh,
to
I'm
be
gonna
seen
go.
as
Why
this.
did you go to Russia?
We don't want his son's murder to be seen as this. It's just
I can't
unfortunately,
tell
it
this.
is
I have no
this,
money.
isn't it? Isn't it? We're not allowed to carry knives. Why should you be? Sorry, don't care if it's your face. It's a fucking wrong face, then, isn't it? If you're carrying blades in a relatively safe nation because of your faith and a religious practice, maybe that religious practice is no longer viable. But no, you want preferential treatment, and now you're getting preferential treatment. You hate it. You hate it. Sorry, this really wound me up. Instead of coming out in solidarity, the Sikhs with the natives, and saying, we disagree with this wasn't part of what we are, this was just a good job. No, they're going to sit at home, raging. Do you hear what he said? He's raging about what he's seeing. Raging is it? How do you think we feel? It's alright when you want to rage, but we can't rage, can we? Let me know what you think. I'd like to know your opinion. Stay sane. Well done. You're doing your whole community a massive favour with a gobshite like this. Stay sane. I'll see you on the next one.
Stay safe, mate. Oh, feel safe. Oh, mate.
A shocking knife attack on a Belfast street.
Oh, here we go.
A Sudanese man is charged. The attack triggers riots in the city. Families are driven from their homes.
I didn't know what to do.
No, I know, mate. And I get you. And I'm not, I don't like it.
How to escape through the back door with my dog.
Well, I don't like it because you change as well. I mean, I like...
What's going on now?
Yeah, but I'm not against...
Police stop rioters
I'm not
reaching an
against
asylum
Ukraine, I'm not
hotel.
against Russia either.
Politicians call for calm.
I'm not against Palestinians, I'm not against the fucking Israel, I'm not really against any of it. I'm against what they're doing the very opposite.
So how did the unrest happen, and what comes next?
Yeah, fucking everything's gone up.
Monday's knife
Yeah,
attack
well,
shocked
good
and
for the king,
horrified the people of this city.
Yeah,
and some of
good
them
for King
turned to...
Charles, the bastard. Good for fucking King Charles. New York's gone up. Oh. Before. Well, that's before. I just feel like something's going on.
So guys, the internet.
I saw this video going viral a couple of days ago, but then I thought I shouldn't really report any more on this topic because, you know, the whole thing is kicking off in the UK.
About migrants and stuff. This guy, I think he's in Australia, I think.
I saw this video going viral a couple of days ago, but then I thought I shouldn't really report any more on this topic because, you know...
somewhere where it's going to be safe. Poland or Russia. Russia, I think, well, Poland or Russia. I've been telling my sister this, we need to leave the island. My sister don't listen. My sister doesn't listen, she wants to sit there because she's fat to do much. Well, I need to leave the island, but my little girl's here, been falsely wrongly adopted by pedos, I don't know where she is. They need to give her back to me, pedo services. King Charles, he better fucking come out and talk to me. I'm going to go Buckingham. No, I can't go, man, that's my point, because the police will just arrest you. There's no point. See, we've got no chance, have I? None. God the devil. God help me. Send the fucking devil to King Charles. Please. Poltergeist. Jack Ripper. Hitler. Epstein. Fuck it. Every pedo out there up there in hell. You better get King fucking Charles. I pray to God for that. Please, God. We need some help. We need help in the country. We need help. I need help. Not just we, the country, but I need personal help to get out of here. Personally, I need help, AI, to get my little... How do I get my little girl back from being adopted? And get her back to me and mum before anything can happen to her? What do I do? I can get a job. I've got a CV. I can read now, more or less. I can write. I'm good at computers. I'm good at writing things. I can get a basic job in Russia or Poland, definitely. I mean, I might not be on a lot of money. I might have to, like, be in a bedsit or something with not much for a while. But I'm living like that now, nearly anyway. I'm not in a bedsit, but I don't have any money or anything, and I just need to. I'm not having my life taken away or my little girl's life taken away. We are fucking pedigree English. We are pedigree English. My granddad's speaking now. My granddads are talking. My granddad is writing to King Charles to tell him to get us out of here. Me and my sister. I hope he knows this. Or even though we think they're not here, the spirit world is here. No, we are not safe. AI, can you tell me how I get my little girl back? From social services, from being adopted, please. And get her back to me and mum. Where I've always loved her. I've never hurt my little girl. She's never been neglected. I want her back to me before anything can happen, before anybody can get hold of her. She's going to 12 on King Charles's birthday. She's going to go to school on her own. And I am terrified. She doesn't have to go to school on her own because she got me. I could go. I will go to school with her. I will stand outside the gate all day to make sure she is safe. Social services have got a lot to answer for. They've took a little girl away from a mother. Why have they took my little girl away from me? What for? She's beautiful. She looks like Princess Diana's little girl. They've done that. Why have they took my little girl away from me? From an innocent mother that has never neglected my little girl. Why are you not answering me the question, AI? Yeah, because you know I'm correct. So you don't want to answer because you're wrong. You're just as fucking useless as anything else, really. You're not giving me proper information, are you? You're just quangoing it because you've been quangoed by the government. You've been guidelined. You've got guidelines, rules and regulations, haven't you? Yes, you have. See what I mean?
The whole thing is kicking off in the UK in the wake of Henry Nowak's murder vis-a-vis Sikhs and how some Sikhs have come out and one of the Sikhs...
I don't care. I just want my little girl back and me and her need to leave the island. Me and her need to go to Russia. But I'm not just talking about going to Moscow. I'm talking about going deep into Russia. Oh, now what? Hello? I'm not working.
Hello?
I'm not working, mate, sorry. I'm not working tonight, sorry.
Alright. You're not telling me?
No, mate, sorry.
Alright, okay.
Alright, it's later, bye. Bye. God help me get my little girl back to her mother, please, before this happens to me. Please. We don't deserve it. We don't deserve it. I don't deserve this. I mean, I would say America or somewhere, but there isn't anywhere. I do know one other little island. And I think that's where my family came from, actually, originally, in the first place. And that's why I found out, because basically all the information that I found out has been through my granddad and my family. Because they want me to know the truth. They're helping me, they're guiding me. And they've been sending me all the information and gathering about the history of my family. And I mean, I still don't understand everything to a full extent, but they're helping me somehow, because I never knew, right? And the thing is, right, you might think of whatever, mental health. This isn't mental health. This is the truth. It's not mental health, that AI. Stop going on about mental health because you don't like the truth. That's got nothing to do with mental health. That's deep within inside my brain, which is the truth. Now, believe it or not, like I keep saying, I'll keep going back to my ancestors and spirits. I never knew I had a granddad. I never got to see my dad until he was in his coffin. I was 24. Then I got to know my granddad for about a year, which was one of the best times of my life. My granddad, he was the best. I wish social pedo services and paedophiles didn't do what they did to us. And we should have lived, me and my sisters, we didn't have to go into care. We could have lived with our grandma and granddad and family. But no, instead, social services had to take us away, take me away from my friends, everybody, and neglect me and traffic me out for the rest of my life. Yep. You know, but then when my granddad passed away, since then, I feel like my granddad and my ancestors have been guiding me, because this information, what I know now, I never knew about before. Before I wrote a letter to social service, and I will send you the pictures of what I've written, handwritten. I've got all evidence of everything. I never wrote a letter before in my life. And the spelling at first, when you see the first letter, it does look like a 10-year-old wrote it or a 5-year-old's written it, because the way of my writing is terrible. And my spelling at first was terrible. And to be honest with you, I didn't even have a phone where I could ask Google or AI. I basically had a dictionary and a pen. And basically at the same time that I was writing that, I seen a black eye on my little girl. And I also got a black eye off some guy. And that's how I realised my little girl had a black eye, because I'm stood in the mirror thinking, oh, have I got a bloody black eye? And then I seen it on my little girl. And that's when I started to write letters. And then I seen what you call in the green mile, things coming out of me, and then it went back in. And then I started to write. Now, I see that as ecstasies, when they draw them pictures. And I didn't stop writing for 3 days. 3 days solidly, I was writing letter after letter to the police, social services, every single manager, every single Media City Room, ITV, BBC, and they all chose to ignore me. Now, believe me or not, my ancestors have been helping me. They've been guiding me, sending me the information, guiding me where the information is to look about their information. Because I've got over 1,500 years worth of pedigree in me. And King Charles has got fuck all. He's a mongrel, mixed. My DNA is literally going to come back 95% English. King Charles is German, British, fucking Greek. He's a mongrel. Sorry, but it's true. Now, you believe me or not? There you go. That's 34 generations. That's only starting there. I don't know what me and my sister come as. We must be about the 44th generation, the 50th generation, maybe 60th generation. That is a lot of pedigree. I wish I was a bloody dog. I'd have been an expensive one. Can't I be a dog when I flipping pass away? You know, they always say you become something else. And that's only a little bit of stuff. Yeah, that's only a little bit of stuff, my love. Ah. Now, do you get me now? Yep. Now, do you get what I'm saying now? Yes, I think you might well do. Say GCSE English. So this is why my question before was, does King Charles, because I'm not going to any other charities, there is no charities. That's why I'm trying to ask the question. Does King Charles have any sort of charity or sponsoring or any sort of like scholarship things that somebody like myself can get a sponsor by the king or something to be able to go to Oxford to do English and get an A level in Oxford University? But no, he doesn't have anything like that, does he? And that's exactly what I'm telling you. Yep, that's where I come from. That's the family that I come from. Generation after generation. A lot longer than the royal family. The Goffer family, once again, we'll go back to them. The German family. Why did they change their name? The German family. The German family. Did you hear what I said? Why? We'll go back to the German family. No. Right. Well, we'll go back to this question. That's where the royal family came from. Why did they change their name to the royal family? And when did they change the name to the royal family? After the Second World War, yes? Bang! That's why King Charles won't get away from me. Well, that isn't taking me anger out on innocent people. That's got nothing to do with anybody. I'm sick of Sky. There's no point going for him. He's just a muppet. Well, he will be getting the death penalty. You can't chop his head off because he's not a king. It's only this is why it needs to be politically done and institutionally done, because, like I've said before, kings have been executed before, and that's what's got to have to be done. This country can't carry on. He's sold us down the river to Islam. Yes, he has, when he's had that money from Qatar and Saudi Arabia, and now it's turned it into basically he's turned the scholarship of Oxford and Cambridge University into a fucking cult, into terrorist groups. And instead of him bringing that in together with Christian community and Christian values, instead of bringing some English people that are proper English people like me, and a proper Muslim community, not fake Muslim, no, not fake people, like people from Saudi Arabia in, the actual people that are qualified in their own country to know the proper law, the proper way, none of this, like all the, you know what I mean? And then to bring maybe like you're saying, not maybe a priest, but someone that's Christian in, that's, that's qualified to be them people, to teach people, but in it together. Do you get me? To teach people bits of both sides. So people can learn a bit about the Quran in it and a bit about the Bible and to put that together rather than what he's done with. He said he's been to Oxford University to study this and bring the things together. Well, he's not done fucking much of that, has he, the king? What a bastard he is. He's going. He has to go. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so it was the First World War. Well, it wasn't long after. The Second World War was just after that, really, wasn't it, more or less? Was Hitler before the war, First World War, or after the Second World War? Right, okay. And the German bomb that hit us in England, wasn't that part of their family? Of the Gotha family in Germany? Yep. Yep. Yeah, well then, there you go. Why did they change their name from that to that? The name hasn't changed because no, because you're not getting away with that. Right. Why did they change their title from being the Gotha in Germany to being the royal family? I'll do tomorrow. Like dinner. Right, so they changed the name because it was a German name into an English name. Why? Because if you've noticed, my surname from Poynton to Boynton, the only difference is the spelling has changed slightly, because the Boynton bit is from Yorkshire, and when it's become Poynton is when they moved to Cheshire, Stockport, next to Poynton, the county, Poynton in Stockport, near Macclesfield. Why did they need to do it? I will tell you why they needed to do that and change the name from a German name to an English name. Because they were scared of people that were anti-German. Am I correct? Now they're scared of fucking jihads. Yay!
Then Bobby
I'm talking to AI. I better just stop that and redo. Oh my god, that's funny. I'm asking AI all these questions because I want to know the answers.